Welcome to today's deep dive. So, have you ever tried to wire up multiple TVs for like a big game or a complex presentation, only to have the whole system just glitch because one single screen didn't play nice?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is the classic audiovisual nightmare. One weak link fails to sync, and it just brings down the entire network.
Right, and suddenly you're staring at a room full of blank screens.
Exactly. It's incredibly frustrating.
Well, today we are decoding a technical product page for a device built to fix exactly that. It's the A-Neuvideo ANI-28UHDDa 2x8 HDMI splitter from HDTV Supply.
It is quite the name.
Yeah, it really is a mouthful. But our mission is to, cut through the jargon and reveal exactly how this box solves that ultimate AV headache.
There is a lot of technical terminology here, I mean, looking at the page.
Right.
But the underlying engineering is actually this really elegant solution to a very common physical problem.
Okay, let's unpack this. At its core, this device takes two HDMI inputs and splits them across 8 outputs. We aren't talking like old school standard definition here.
No, not at all. It handles 4K UHD at 60 Hz HDR, and it pushes a massive 18 gigabits per second of bandwidth.
Right. 18 gigabits. I like to picture it as this high-speed traffic cop. But instead of just waving cars through a little intersection, it's managing like a massive multi-lane highway.
That's a good analogy.
So if bandwidth is the size of your highway, 18 gigabits means you have enough lanes so that massive cargo trucks, which represent your uncompressed 4K video.
You don't have to squeeze into a single lane and drop their cargo along the way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what's fascinating here is that the sheer size of that highway is what preserves the visual fidelity.
Yeah, because the specs meant it maintains 4.4.4 chroma subsampling and 8-bit color.
Which in plain English means?
It basically means the device doesn't compress or, throw away any color data just to save bandwidth. Every single pixel retains its original data from the source.
That's awesome. But, pushing pristine 4K is great on a spec sheet. Let's talk about the real world, because your 8 TVs are almost never identical.
Right. You always have a mix.
Yeah, so if I plug just one older, 1080p monitor from the break room into a shiny new 4K system, doesn't the system usually default to the lowest common denominator?
Historically, yes. It would just downgrade the feed for everyone.
Which is terrible.
It is. And this raises an important question about how we manage mixed technology environments. But this is exactly where this specific splitter comes in, because it has individual output scaling.
Oh, wait, so it automatically downscales that 4K signal to 1080p only for that older display?
Exactly. The other 7 screens stay completely untouched in full 4K.
Wow. Here's where I have a concern, though. I get that it has massive bandwidth, but what about latency?
Right. Processing time.
Yeah, because if this box is constantly doing the math to downscale 4K to 1080p in real time, doesn't that cause a lag? A split-second audio sync delay in a live sports broadcast is an absolute deal breaker.
That is a totally valid point. But the mechanism behind this is what prevents that lag. The device has dedicated internal processing.
Meaning what, exactly?
Essentially, it has separate scaling chips for each individual output. It isn't using just one central brain to do all the math.
Oh, so downscaling one feed doesn't borrow processing power from the others?
Right. No bottleneck, no audio sync delay. And it goes a step further with what they call group mode.
Group mode.
Yeah, it can physically split its processing so it functions as 2 totally independent 1x4 splitters in a single box. You can route 2 different inputs to 2 separate groups of 4 screens at the same time.
So it's actively translating the feed for different screens without slowing the whole system down. That's really clever.
It really is.
But, flawless video doesn't mean much if the movie refuses to play at all because of copyright errors. I've seen setups freeze entirely because of a bad HDCP connection.
High bandwidth digital content protection. It's the digital security handshake between your devices.
Right. And usually if just one screen fails that ID check, the source just shuts down the feed for the entire network.
Exactly, which ruins the experience for everyone.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. This device has independent HDCP management for each output.
Yeah, which is a game changer.
It's kind of like assigning individual VIP bouncers to 8 different club doors. Each screen gets its own security clearance to play protected content.
I love that comparison. So if one screen fails its handshake, its bouncer handles it locally.
And the rest of the club keeps partying.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it is really all about total signal integrity, ensuring the whole ecosystem survives individual failures.
And that extends to audio too, right?
Yes, Definitely. It handles uncompressed audio pass-through formats like LPCM 7.1 and advanced HD bitstream up to 192 kilohertz.
So massive studio quality sound files can just pass directly to your speakers without being compressed.
Right.
So what does this all mean for you listening? When you add up the dedicated individual scaling chips, the localized HDCP management, and the uncompressed audio, you're basically getting an enterprise-level architectural solution.
Whether you are building a sports bar or a complex home theater, it provides serious peace of mind.
And it's TAA-compliant, meaning it meets standards required for government use. Plus, it's backed by a 3-year warranty from HDTV Supply and priced around, what, $384?
Yeah, under $400. It provides an intelligent mechanism for managing a mixed ecosystem of displays. It just solves the reality of mismatched screens without sacrificing source quality.
We started by talking about the nightmare of one glitchy screen taking down your whole setup. This device makes sure that never happens.
It really does.
But here's a thought to leave you with. As hardware splitters become increasingly intelligent at managing mixed ecosystems, how will the looming shift to 8K and fully wireless smart homes force these physical traffic cops to evolve next?